So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Sunshine Foundation Philadelphia branch, Ergo Learning, and Echo 3D as the sponsors for this year's hackathon, as well as the National Youth Week. All four of these organizations help make our future hacks what it is. It helps make us shine. Working together, we will all bring you an amazing coding event that offers a unique opportunity to learn, create, and innovate. So without further ado, what is hackathon? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Just a second. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So what is hackathon? What are we doing here? For those who, this may be your first time and whatnot, what are you going to take out of this? So a hackathon is essentially a coding competition where you don't really compete in like coding challenges, but rather a project that can, kind of aim to benefit, humanity. Not necessarily like there aren't gaming hackathons and whatnot, but really what we focus on here is to train your skills and develop more of a coding festival of sorts. We want to really focus on developing your talents and anything that can help you celebrate coding and anything around technology. I'll get into how that kind of focuses on our theme for this year in a bit. But yeah, our hackathon is very influential in terms of what we provide. We offer so many different things to kind of really train and hone your skills as a coder. We want to come together and all enjoy a very, very amazing coding experience. Throughout this hackathon, you'll have access to fantastic resources such as mentors, workshops, and other different kinds of things that will truly support you throughout the entire competition. Currently, our schedule runs from today all the way until Sunday evening. That's not, the time you have to work, but once you get the theme for today, you get to work all the way until Saturday, 11:59, and then judging will begin Sunday morning. So how that works, I'll get into in a bit, but overall, this is going to be an experience that it's a once in a lifetime experience. Even though we host this annually, it's never the same. But that's hackathons. That's hackathons in general. What is FutureHacks? I mentioned before that we have numerous amounts of workshops that we provide. This is, as I mentioned, FutureHacks 5. So what is our history behind this? So let me go over to our website. In case you do not know, this is our website for this year, FutureHacks 5. FutureHacks.net is the link. And this contains so much useful information for how to register if you have not already. It has our theme. Well, once we release the theme, we'll have our theme. We're going to have all of our prizes, all of our different workshops will be posted on here. The schedule is also on here. Our rubric, which is very, essential for making sure that you actually create the necessary, let's see. Well, I have right here is to create the necessary project to excel in this competition. It has it all here. Your presentation is a huge aspect. How creative you are. That's what we're trying to, work on here. We're trying to flow and nourish your creativity. So, as mentioned, we've had many past future hacks before. One of our biggest future hacks was FutureHacks 3 from 2021. So FutureHacks 3 2021 had so many different amazing projects that it's just hard to pick one to show you guys. There's just so many different things. We had a role-playing game from our junior track. We had teaching notes and whatnot for our senior track. You can tell from here that our hackathon isn't specifically trying to make the best project. It's trying to see what's the most creative and how can you help the world. You can, especially with our senior track, our older individuals are participating in this hackathon because our hackathon requires no coding experience. What we do ask is that you try and sincerely put your effort in and make the best project that you can that can help the world, something that will truly stay with you for the rest of your life. As you can see, we have a Braille Assist app, teaching kids to read music app. All these kind of different things are what make this hackathon Future Hacks. So continuing on, we not only do we provide all this real world experience, this is one of the few hackathons that truly have this unique judging experience that really lets you get control over your project. You take control over it. You get to present your project, you get to explain it, you get to show your thinking process, and you get to answer questions, you get to ask questions, you get to fully interact with judges that are really experienced from various different fields of technology. We have some judges that are coming from prestigious colleges. We have judges that are coming from prestigious work environments, such as Google and whatnot. We have so many different judges that are really here to help you. They're here to help you, and they're here for your growth. That's why Future Hacks is Future Hacks. In additionally, you cannot forget our prizes this year. Hello, thank you for joining. You cannot forget our prizes this year. We're giving out Minecraft for free. Not for free, obviously. You have to work towards it, but these are incentives to encourage you for our junior track or senior track Minecraft, or junior track Roblox. We're providing an Echo Dot, some more technology, a laptop bag, and class credit. So if any of these truly intrigue you and engage you, then you can obviously join the class for completely for free. You get the credit for it, and it will truly strengthen your skills later on in life. Now, I believe this. Oh, if anyone's not muted, I just ask that you please mute. Okay, so all right, I think everyone's muted. So I know this is what you guys been waiting for. What is our theme for this year? Because I've been talking about all the different kinds of things you can win this year, how this is so beneficial for you, how you can truly, grow as a coder, is you can not even just a coder, you can grow as a thinker. You're going to be pushed to your limits here. What is the theme? What are we working with? Well, theme this year is coding into the future with AI. So what does that mean? Well, we want everyone in this call, everyone participating in this competition, to focus on how can they take something that's like futuristic, like a futuristic application, like, oh, voice recognition, like unlocking things with your voice. That's not something that's really around. Take that and implement it. We want to push you guys into the future. We want to show you guys what's next. And for some ideas, then here, let me zoom in for you guys. For some ideas we have right here for our junior track, our younger kids, people who are participating in this. You can develop a program that's you develop a program that uses if or else statements, but can be implemented with AI later on. This is kind of thinking about it, we have the sorting trash, for example, where it's an if or else statement, but we can use AI later on. Maybe you come back to this, use AI to identify paper, plastic, glass, and trash. And that's kind of a project that would really help really help the world if this was true, like really true. You know about the numerous amounts of pollution. Explaining the exigence or the reason for your project really would not only helps in actually giving yourself what's the idea behind it, but it really explains to you or to the judges where was your creativity behind this? Where did you really think about this? Now, for our senior track, as you can see, they're all kind of similar. But for our senior track, you can see that this is focusing way more on AI. As I mentioned earlier, we're sponsored by AI Go Learning. This is hosted by AI Go Learning, and they have access to all these different types of AI-powered tools. For example, we have sentiment analysis. So say you get like a review or something online, you get a tweet, a comment, anything, you develop a system, you have to train a model and everything to analyze, is this positive, negative, or is it neutral? Nothing really in between. It's not strong. But by positive, negative, I mean, is it happy? Is it excited? Is it a positive feeling, or is it negative? Or is it like demeaning? Is it is it just hurtful, something like that. These kind of tools are truly what we're going into. We already have implemented so much of this, but it's still like, this is the future, AI. If some of you might know, ChatGPT has been a very big thing lately, and it shows you the future, right? Because schools are all around the world are trying to, restrict ChatGPT, block it and everything, but there's still there's still ways to truly, go past that and use AI to its full potential. And with that being said, that's the future. AI is going to help us, create essays. It's going to help us pick our clothes in the morning. It's going to help us pick whatever food we want to eat that day. It's so like, AI is going to be a huge part of our lives, that this is going to lead you into that. And to answer a question in the chat, yes, hackathon is beginner friendly. I just want to stress this: you do not need any coding experience. Whatever you coming into with, like if you've played with Scratch before, block code, that's perfectly fine. If you've coming, like for both senior and junior tracks, we want to make this as welcoming as possible. If you've coded in like recoded Google, that's totally fine. You can come into this and you can work incredibly hard towards this competition and still earn the same prizes and still get the same opportunities as everyone else and get the same experience. All right. Another question in chat. Sorry, I'll take a quick break to answer questions. Well, not break, but quick intermission to answer questions. Junior track can use, junior category can use any coding language. You do not need to use specifically Python or Scratch. If you're younger and you've had so much experience with Java, maybe that was the first language you started with. Who knows why? But if that is true, then yeah, go ahead, use Java for sure. It's obviously, we're not really grading you on your coding experience or coding languages, but we want to make sure that whatever you create in the end is a working product. We want to have everyone leave this hackathon with something under their belt, something they've made themselves that they can be proud of at the end of the day. Do you have to stay the entire time? It's, if your phone dies and your phone dies, that's fine. But I would recommend staying the entire time. As I mentioned earlier, this recording will be posted later, so that's fine. You can obviously look back at it for the remaining information, but there is still going to be more information that's really helpful to a lot of people that especially is their first time. So, do you have to code the AI? The AI, you do not need to code. Because that's more statistics, right? We're just trying to utilize the AI. Maybe you have to train a model, that's different, but there's so many different ways that you can implement this AI that you don't really need to code it yourself. There's so many different ways. The theme, so yes, thank you, Albert. So the theme is coding into the future with AI, as I mentioned up here. So you're utilizing something that's more, I guess, futuristic in a way, like, image recognition, recognizing cars, recognizing trash, stuff like that. Something that's more pushing you into the future. How many projects you can submit? You can submit one project per submission. So if it's like 2 people working on a project, you submit one project. If it's one individual working on a project, you submit that one project. If you did not, I would not recommend submitting a project that does not follow the theme. The theme is essentially, oh, I think I skipped a few minutes. Sorry, I'll go back up. But the theme is kind of there to guide you. It's there so you can actually earn the prizes, and it's there for you to be judged correctly. Theme is so we can all unite over one specific thing, and it makes most sense when we share our projects and we share the winners, that you can see how they interpreted the theme. As long as you can defend your project for the theme, whatever you do is totally fine. And what age group is each track? So 7 to 12 is going to be junior track, and 13 to 17 will be your senior track. We use Scratch? You're totally allowed to use Scratch, totally fine. Scratch, you can use Python, you can use Java, any coding language is fine. You do not need to code the AI from scratch, as mentioned before. You can use pre-existing models as long as you train the models. Code in Desmos. If you can make it work, go for it. But I'd be very impressed if you could. The theme last year was it was focused on environment and help, not specifically environment, but helping the world. Something around helping the world. Can you Visual Studio Code? Yes, of course. You submit. I will go over the submission process at the end. Don't worry. I'll go over all of about all that and what you can do to submit your project and how the judging process will work and all that. All right. Well, I think that's all the questions for now. I'll leave a Q&A session at the end so we can definitely discuss. Will you share the document? Yes, the document will be I actually can put it in the chat right now for everyone. Just in case you guys want to go ahead and see the theme for yourself. And this will be posted later on as well. For senior track does not matter either because we're trying to make this very welcoming. So anyone from any coding language or coding background can perform in the senior track. So you can use any coding language. And I'm sorry you have to restart your design and coding. That's why we have this opening ceremony. Hopefully you can make up everything you missed. All right. A prototype? No, it needs to be a working design because part of the rubric, as you can see here, part of the rubric is your code actually functioning without bugs and whatnot. Everything needs to work smoothly. So if you just have I don't know, a random prototype that's not functioning there, then I would recommend you get it fully working. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, so let's continue. How long is the hackathon? Okay. We'll decide. So first, let's see what decides whether or not you're in senior or junior. That will be depending on your age. So 7 to 12, junior, 13 to 17, senior. How long is the hackathon? Hackathon goes all day from beginning of you could start like right now. But you can really what it is all day Saturday. Saturday, there will be so many different events. Our schedule here, as you can see on our website, is just Saturday, so many different things. I'm gonna discuss some of the workshops later, but you just work on your project Saturday and then you can join all these different talks to really, either get some information like unique insight towards preparing for college, like the first one, or our sponsor for this year, mental health awareness, or you can join our demo classes that will also be going on during the hackathon to really kind of focus in narrow your idea and thinking towards coding, and if you want practice with that. Speaking of which, there is a Scratch and AI Future Hacks demo class. Sorry, blanked on the word for a second. We have a demo class right after this hackathon. Starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So feel free to join in. And that will, if you're planning on using Scratch, that will kind of give you an insight towards using AI and how to use that for this competition. So you can register on our website. Okay, just reposted the theme. Cool. Can the code include graphics, as in like your final project, or? The actual final project will be graphical. There can't just be code. There needs to be some sort of graphical element. Yes. The link for what, the demo class I mentioned? I will post the demo class. Oh, sorry, did I mention 7 p.m. Eastern? I'm so sorry. I meant the demo class starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. And yes, that is when the meeting will end as well. And I will post the link to the demo class towards the end. You have to draw images for our code, like creating pseudocode or like a template or flowchart? No, not necessarily. If you think that would help you explain in the presentation, go for it, but you don't need, that's not a submission requirement. I wouldn't spend time specifically on that. But if that's how you work, then totally. It's all, again, this is your experience. You're just sharing that experience with a panel of judges. Yes, the development, I'm not sure like you develop on DevPost, but you can, that's where the submission will be. It will be on DevPost, and I'll mention that. And no, every aspect does not have to be graphical, only the aspects that you will be submitting. So sorry, that's kind of confusing. Not only the aspects that will like that define your project. So you need to have some sort of, visual aspect. So if I go to a project from last year, you can see here that the Braille Assist. Well, this was more of a physical project, so this is not the best example, but this, obviously there's code behind it, and this project's not working, but I believe this project is. This was one of the winners for the junior track, and you can see that obviously there's physical elements, but if we look inside, there's, you're just code. So it's just like a normal ex, like as long as you have an oh my God, I'm literally stuttering on my words. As long as you have an exe or something that can be ran and showcase a visual aspect, so you can obviously use like anything with a GUI, then you should be fine. All right. It is a live pitch, so you'll be meeting live with the judges. You'll get a specific time, I believe, emailed to you. So you'll get a link, time, and then you have 10 minutes with the judge, pretty much. 5 minutes to present, 5 minutes for Q&A. Oh, buttons and widgets, that's not necessary. You can just like have it all work from your keyboard, or if you want, but there is needs to be some sort of graphical element. And yes, you will need to do a presentation. Yes, that is correct. You can pull models from public repositories, and you just need to train that model and integrate it for this project. Teams will present together. So if you're working with someone else, you both will need to do some sort of equal presentation. So it seems as though you guys both understand the project at hand. Judging and presenting. So judging goes from 12. So if we click here on Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern, Sunday is when the project submission cuts off. Then 1 to 5 p.m. on Eastern will be presenting and judging. And then so 5 p.m. is when judging cuts off, and then 6 p.m. is our closing ceremony. All right. Any other questions? How do you send it? I will go over that in a bit. How do we send our projects in? No, don't worry about it. So reading your question, yes, you will create your own personal project, then submit. For Scratch, you can just submit the link. That's totally fine because Scratch already has it. I was talking mainly if you did Python or whatnot. And you would not necessarily, you don't need to prepare a PowerPoint presentation. What I'd say is like for our where is it go? For this one, like the math one that I pulled up earlier, if you can have it just share your screen in the background and explain the project while you're running it. It's not necessary that you need to prepare a presentation, but if you'd like to, and if that helps you explain your ideas, go for it. Thunkable. I'm not familiar with Thunkable. Let me search it out. Oh, mobile apps. If you can implement it, sure. As I mentioned before, we have any coding language for all experiences. So if you can find a way to implement it, go for it. What if the other person they work with? If they cannot make it and just one person can make it, that's fine, as long as you communicate that to the judge and you explain clearly that what's happening. Can AI have all I think when you're saying can your AI have all your functions presented, as in like could you discuss every possible aspect of your AI? Yes, if you remember you only have 5 minutes. 5 minutes may sound like a lot, but it really will go by fast. And I would recommend focusing more on the creativity rather than every aspect of your AI. Mhm. Yes, you will have to present. Um, that's totally fine. Some things being on the terminal, but I would steer away from having essential outputs on the terminal. If you want to have like debugging stuff, that's fine. But if you have essential outputs, I would not recommend that. How do you present? We'll go over that in a bit. Yeah, sure. Let me yeah, sorry. I took a bit too long to answer questions. I will go back to questions now at the end of the presentation, but I just want to take a quick we're about halfway through. Let me go back to questions at the end. Don't want to take up too much of everyone's time, especially if it's necessary for them to go. All right, so as mentioned before, we do have numerous amount of workshops. One that isn't listed here is our USACO workshop. So USACO is a prestigious coding competition, and it's hosted every the beginning of it is hosted every December. It's pretty much every winter, and that the coding competition is you go it goes from bronze. So it's like if you don't unfamiliar with it, it does levels, and you go from bronze all the way to gold, and that is it's such an important thing because it's different than this. It's coding problems that you're given and you need to solve, but it's such a good experience, and it's so it just really changes the way you think and just critically in general, that I would recommend it to everyone. I really recommend joining the USACO workshop. It will be posted on our website. Just go there for the end. And regarding our workshops here, I mentioned earlier we have demo classes, so many different demo classes. Really, please, I say this a lot, but our website has everything that necessary here. It really does. So I'd recommend you check out our website. And for our demo classes, for here we have a mental health workshop that you will have a speaker. Her name's Lori, and she'll discuss how to really, if you're struggling with these kind of issues. I know it's something that most people tend to deny for some reason. Mental health is just as important as physical. If you go to the doctors, you should also take time to check up on your mental health. But yeah, there's so many different issues that she'll be discussing, and it would be really a benefit to you for you to join the workshop. And then obviously there's a bunch of different workshops throughout the day focused on college applications. So if you're more leaning towards more of the seniors, if you're planning on attending like a really prestigious project, then for sure go ahead and join any one of these, if not all of these workshops. This really will help you prepare for the next step in your life. All right, so that was really it. So what I'm going to recommend now is I want to discuss this website for you guys. This website, I'm going to put in the chat. It's that important. And I will answer questions in a bit, but this website has absolutely everything necessary. It discusses how to set up a dev post account, how to submit your project. Where did it go? Right here. How to submit your project, how to set up a dev post. It talks about all that, which I will run through here in just a second. Uh, all right, sorry about that. So as mentioned, it has so many really helpful information here. So it's mainly especially for parents, so they can see all of this and kind of understand how can they help their student, what is their student going to be doing, all of that. But for please go ahead, anyone use this. It's really helpful information. It has their entire schedule on here. Same workshops I mentioned before. It's the link to join each one of these, like kickoff meeting right there. You can join. That's this one. You can join from here. This shows you how to submit your project. All of our workshops where you can join. Click on the link right here to join if you're interested in any of these. You can sign up for demo classes here as well. So all the demo classes I mentioned, you can sign up for here. And you can go, this is our schedule. It will be updated more, but for now, this is the amount of classes that we have. The one being the one I'll be teaching in about half an hour. So definitely, please look towards this, and then Q&A. Please look towards this if you have any questions. This really helps. Look towards this first, and then of course, as shown here, join our Discord. We have people there. We'll talk. We'll help you out in case you have any problems. For sure, please do. And finally, wanted to conclude with. I'm sorry, let me just find a certain link. Okay, for sure. Definitely, please, if you listen to anything here, I just want to tell you guys before we go into the dev post, because that will wrap things up, and then with the Q&A. I just want you guys, regarding this competition, please. This is not, I don't want you guys focusing. I know we provide a lot of prizes, and that's an incentive, but it is really focusing on the journey, the experience, what you'll be learning from all this. This is what I want you guys to take away. I've never seen another hackathon as close to a festival as this. This is really just it's so many different things in one. It's really just, it's an experience. It's something completely free. I want you guys to truly enjoy this and to really take away from this. This is an experience. It's something that you guys can take away. And yeah, that's really it. I'm sorry, I was checking chat, but really that's all I have for you guys. Let's get into dev post, and then we'll wrap things up with a Q&A. But yeah. All right, so our dev post, I have an account right here ready. So of course, just sign up for a dev post account. It's really not too bad. You can use Google, you can use GitHub, you can use a bunch of different things. And then right here, you just search up FutureHacks 5. I already have it here, but I will just search up, show you guys. FutureHacks 5 are only one available, and then you go ahead and join. If you have not already, please do join. All right, from here, you'd put in your last name. If what kind of position are you in? If you're looking for a teammate, then you can easily check this off. And anyone looking at the participants, so if I'll show you guys, anyone looking at the participants of the hackathon, you can see people who are looking for teammates, people that are interested in working with other people. So I would recommend, if you need a teammate, go here or go to our Discord. People are active there. They're discussing all the time. So maybe you can find someone there. But here is where you go ahead and join. So I just put this up. All right. So once you fill this out, this is really just the registration aspect. You will create a project from here. This is where you get to put in a thumbnail, a picture, something that captures the attention. You get to put in the name. Elevator pitch, in case you guys don't know, this is like pretty much like something super short. Like if you were in the elevator with someone, you wanted to sell a product, this is what you'd say. You tell them all this on the elevator ride up. So you make it super quick, super short, but super engaging. Has to capture your attention. And from there, you type everything about their project. Explain. This is where you get to talk about the creativity. There's no character limit here. You get to talk about all that. You can even discuss, maybe code examples that like were really innovative or something like that. Like explain, really showcase this project. Let's try to sell it if you can. You put down the language. You give out a link. You add the actual like an image of the project, something the judges that will see. If you want to show a video of it, you can, and then you will submit it here. You mark this down and you submit the project. That is this entire submission project. Process. So that's really, I believe I covered everything for this year's hackathon. Remember, our theme is we're coding into the future with AI. I want you guys to utilize that in your projects. And I can't think of anything better than to see everyone succeed in this competition. I really want to see some amazing ideas, and I want to I want you guys to walk away with the prizes that we're giving away. I want you guys to walk away with the experience that we're giving away. I want you guys to really learn and grow from this hackathon. So, without further ado, thank you guys. Let me go ahead and link for the submission to win. So the link for submission is, I'll put in our link to our dev post real quick. So here's the link to the dev post, and you can just click on this directly and it should bring you to our dev post. All right. All right, let me expand the chat so I can see more questions. How do you join? So again, just go to the dev post I sent in the chat, and then you can create an account there in the top right. I can show that process real quick. So if I log out, I can sign up right here. You can sign up with anything. You can sign up with Google, LinkedIn. I'll just use Google for now. And then from here, I guess it's already linked to my GitHub account, but I can, because the same email, but I log in there and then I search up FutureHacks 5. And from there, I would actually, oh, sorry. Just looking at the chat right now. But yeah, from there, you would submit like I demonstrated. So let me see. When is deadline for submission? Deadline for submission will be 12 p.m. Eastern time, Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, I guess, because hit race at 12. That's when the project's submitted. Then judges, get ready and everything to look over some projects, and then they'll get an idea of everything. And then at 1, we start judging. Actually, let me describe the judging process. Totally forgot about that. So our judging process here, as you can see, we have a list of judges, and you will be speaking to any one of these people, and for here, you'll be discussing to them. So you'll take 5 minutes, you'll discuss, okay, what are we going to be talking about? What you'll be talking about is that you'll be discussing your project. You'll be as we look in the rubric, you'll be discussing what was the process that you were in, right? Where does the creativity come from? How does it relate to the theme? What inspired you for this project? You'll be discussing that for 5 minutes. You'll showcase the project. And then there's 5 minutes. The judge will ask you questions. And then you will respond to every question with full descriptive answers. And that, I believe, the Q&A session is a chance for you guys to is literally an extra presentation. You take a question and you elaborate and you try to show your project as long as possible. That's what you should be focusing on in that session. You shouldn't be focusing on just answering a question quick. You want to use that as more presentation time to talk more about your project and relate things all the way back to your creativity and your theme. Ensure you get max points in this rubric, because this rubric is how we'll be going off winners. All right. So, okay, so for age 13 to 18, I'm sorry it says that in our dev post. I think that's just we have to put the minimum age is 13, but it is 7 to 13, or 7 to 12 will be junior, 13 to 18, 13 to 17 will be senior. So yes, Python will need to be made a graphics thing. Projects due at the end of the day, Sunday. Winners will be announced 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. So the end of the day after judging, we'll be announcing winners. Juniors can get the internship, I believe. Well, I think that actually, no, I'm sorry about that. I think that's a prize specifically for junior. Yeah, that's for senior category. But juniors can get class credit. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. No, junior. Yeah, junior can get a internship. I'm so sorry about that. Yes, juniors can win an internship and class credit and Roblox credit, just another incentive. It's all these kinds of things are available for both juniors and seniors. Seniors are just have a bit more prizes focusing on that, on older kids. All right. No, you do not need to stick with any of the ideas I provided. Those are just ideas to kind of lead you through the theme I mentioned to give you examples to inspire something. But by all means, use whatever you'd like. Use whatever you can create, of course. All right. Did I mention how to submit on the page again? Sure. Just give me 1 second. Let me answer all the other questions. The theme, yes. Someone replied to your message. Yes, it is going to be that doc right there. And yes, the rubric has not changed at all, but because it really is, we're grading on the same things. We're grading on your creativity. We're grading on how well have you evolved over this competition. What ideas have you were able to get from now until submission time? Yes, that is correct. The junior will be oh, sorry. I think I added 13 to senior. Yes, junior will be 7 to 13, 14 to 17 will be senior. I'm sorry about all the miscommunication there. What do you do for Python? Python for a GUI would just, I mean, there's so many different things I can think of. For example, you can just import if you wanted to, you can use Pygame. You do Pygame and utilize a game with AI. Pygame has a very easy GUI element. So the internship will cover pretty much, it'll be a chance to work within the AI Go Learning leadership team. It'll be a chance to utilize AI in a real world experience. You get to work with like we have a lot of different GBT bots right now for our training departments and for our marketing. There's a lot of different models, AI models that you can work with, you can learn to develop. It's a lot of different hands-on activities that the internship will cover. How many internships? There are 2 internships, one for junior, one for senior. Multiple people get the same prize? No, there's one winner for each. Or if it's a team, then you guys can split it. If you do not submit a project, then you do not need to do a presentation, of course, yeah. If it's as for your current level, like if it's not letting you, yes, if you're under 13, please get parental permission. So have your parents like know what's going on and whatnot. You can register under your name, just get parental permission. Signing in as for your current student level, if you're 7 through 11, I would for your student level, just put the lowest they'll let you if it's not letting you go through your actual student level, and just specify somewhere that you are, the correct level. Okay. Yes, just put, I'm not sure why your birth year is and why it's not there, but just put whatever you can closest to that. PyScript, yeah, if you were trying to do some website integrating AI, but there's also another form. I guess is more focused on a demo class for Python, but you could use Gradio. Gradio is a very good interface, GUI interface for any Python-based AI. Yes, if it's a team, each partner will get the internship. Yes, there will be you will get an email for a Zoom link on what time will you be doing the presentation. So you don't know how to code AI, that's totally fine. Like I said before, just focus on creating a sort of project that you do not need GitHub. Focus on a project that utilizes something with the future, something with artificial. It doesn't need to use artificial intelligence, but it's on its way there, like the sorting trash and whatnot, like something that pushes into the future. How do you reach the mentors? So mentors you will probably need to ask when they give their own workshops. So when they give their own workshops, you will be discussing a bunch of different they'll be discussing a bunch of different useful information, and from there you can discuss that. You're going to talk to them, ask them if there's any way you can contact them afterwards. They may give you an email address or something, and from there that's where you can continue. All right, so I do know that there was a request earlier to continue or not continue, but redo some submission process. So from here, make sure you go into DevPost, you have an account, search up FutureHacks 5. The only one that'll come up is our hackathon. So from here, I I'm not 100% sure if it'll let me, yeah, from here. So if you wanted to like retract, just message the manager here, and then you can send it'll send an email to it'll send us an email saying that you want to leave or something or some along those lines. But I pretty much from there, like we'll just create a project and whatnot. So you create a project, you manage your team and everything. You put a name, you put an elevator pitch, so something that it's engaging, that hooks I almost said audience, hooks the judge on your project. You provide details, so here's where you get to explain. It has kind of a template for you anyways. You have what languages you use, what technologies you used, a link to the project, and then like a picture and then a video. And then you can submit your project right here. I hope that helps. All right. It does not need to be one of the 6 ideas I mentioned. It just needs to follow our theme of AI, coding into the future with AI. That's all. Yes, the scratch session will be recorded and I believe emailed out. If not, then it should be posted on either the Discord or our website. So make sure you're in the Discord so you can ask if you do not receive the scratch session, but it will be recorded. All right. Is there any other questions? Oh, a video. So a video is not really necessary, but it's while judges are reviewing your project on DevPost, if you put a video demonstrating the project, so you can record a quick video that showcases the project and what it is. For anyone old enough who's taken AP Computer Science Principles, it's kind of like the Create PT assessment where you recorded a project or record a video demonstrating your project, similar to that. So you just record a video, you showcase your project, running it and whatnot. And you kind of can submit that for extra information for the judges so you can maybe go into your presentation faster or something like that, right? So yeah. Presentation, yes, the presentation for judges will be between 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. That is correct. Are there any other questions? I'm glad to see everyone's very interested in engaged in this. I'm glad to see there's a lot of energy today. It shows how do you submit. So as mentioned before, I'll resend the link in the chat, but submitting will be you go to our dev post right here, and it's not too long of a process. You pretty much you'll go into our dev post, and once you're there, you'll join. You'll create an account on the top right, and then you will join. I will say register for this hackathon. You put in your name, your I believe that's for your age, your any coding languages. If you're looking for a teammate, who you're working with, where'd you learn about hear about the event, and from there, then you'll go into your you'll create a project. Oh, I think it'll go right away. Then oh, sorry. Anyways, so you'll create a project. From there, you will give it a name, give it a pitch. And by pitch, I mean like in a quick description of the project to hook someone onto it. Then you give an entire like description, like a really detailed description of your project. How'd you create the project? What coding languages? What AIs? How would you try out this project? So give a link to the project, and then put a link to like a picture of the project, and then a video if you'd like, and then submit the project from here. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Can use other people's AI, and how to use other people's AI. So yes, you can use other AI, but you need to train that AI for your project. Oh, school doesn't show up, that don't worry about it. You can just put in, if it continuously doesn't show up, then just I believe just hit submit again. They keep trying to submit it and then it'll let you. But yeah, sorry, got off track. But can you use other people's AI? Yes, but you would how do you use it depends on what language you're using. I'll show an example here in a second, but if you use someone else's AI, you need to make sure you fine tune that model, you train that model for your own purposes. Don't just take that AI. But so if I go over here to the Python package index, you can see that there's a bunch of different Python packages, and from here I can go to a topic of artificial intelligence, AI, and there's so many different things I can use here. Any of these modules is something that you can use for AI, and you should be able to train most of them in a certain way. And for example, if I just went into, I guess this one is a image generation one, DALL-E. Oh, where did it go? Might have missed it, but so DALL-E is an image generation project where I'm trying to see if there's a good one I can just go right now, but it just creates an image based on the description. Here, this is a way to tune some models, and from here, I just want to show you guys. You can just install the just go into your wherever your Python idle is. You install the library, then you go over to documentation, and usually you should have some documentation here. But if you do not, then you obviously don't work with that project. But if you do, then go ahead, use that project, and move on towards something else, right? Something else that can be probably more beneficial, but from there it shows you how to use your project, how to use that module. Okay. When you try to join, don't worry about the age restriction. Put them in like lowest age that'll let you, but really, it's 7 through 17, right? So it doesn't really matter what age you are as long as you're within that. If it restricts you, it says 13, 18, don't worry about it. Yes, definitely. If you need help with AI, Python workshops, I mentioned the link earlier, the futurehacks.net/guide has a link to all our workshops and demo classes, and you can for sure join into that to get more help. Or you can join into the Scratch plus AI one coming up in a bit, actually in 5 minutes, when if we finish early with the Scratch aspect, I can help with any other AI. So I just want to really kind of give you guys these skills. Okay. School. So if I were to create a new account on DevPost real quick. So I signed up with a different Google account for school. If you do not see your school, you'd have to so the school I go to, Plano Senior, it's not on here. So what I would do is I click on it asks, this is a new school in the system. Please review the choices above before selecting this. That's fine. Just click on it. So that I click on that to showcase that this is a new school, and that is what I'll be putting down on my dev posts. Hopefully that helps. For virtual assistant, you need graphical interface. You need something you can present, right? Graphical interface. Maybe it doesn't need to create something, but it does need to have some sort of graphic to it. Yes. Same thing for the recycle quiz. How do you add AI to Scratch? Perfect that you ask. The next class in a few minutes, we'll go over that. If you're not able to join unless you're 13, 18, just put in 13, but it's totally fine. Being 13 or being younger than 13, you're still able to join this competition. The recycle cool. Oh, sorry, I already answered that. Where do you find this? What is that referring to? Where is the Scratch AI? So I will put down a link in the chat once again. So futurehacks.net/guide, and this will have it doesn't you'll just have to copy and paste it, but this shows you all of our workshops and where you can register for them and whatnot. Sorry, I don't know what you mean by where do you find this. Can you send the link in the chat? So please follow up if I'm missing something here. And I believe that's it. We're running out of time. So I did want to just thank everyone once again for joining. And this is really a great opportunity for everyone here, and even for me. I really want to see where you guys go with this. I want to see your creativity really shine through, and I want to see where you guys go in the end. So, oh, list for the sure. So, the list for the Python AI, you will go to. Yeah, I'll send a link to it. It's PyPy, which sounds strange enough, but right here, yeah, no problem. Virtual assistant have UI. I would recommend at least some sort of visual aspect. At least if even if it's just a text box that shows what the person's saying or what the AI is saying, then yes, it would have to have that is a UI. But yeah, that is where you can for using Python. That's where you can go to find AI modules. And yeah, I believe that will be it. If you have any questions, please go ahead and join the Discord server. It's in the link that I put in earlier, the futurehacks.net/guide. That's where you can join our Discord. Please come in, ask questions. I'll be looking for anything about AI or any over there, and I'll be trying to help out as much as I can. And of course, if there's something I answered here, the video recording will be posted. Yeah, I think that's really all I have for you guys. Thank you so much. This is gonna be an amazing year, amazing future hacks. I can definitely tell. But thank you guys. I will see you guys during our closing ceremony, and maybe I'll be judging you guys. But yeah, I really hope to see amazing projects. Bye. Good luck, everyone.